Hey everyone, how are you? This is Ankit here, and now today I'm going to discuss about the Pixel 5. So I've been using it for 48 hours, and I will share with you what I have found out, how my experience have been in the past 48 hours. So I got this phone 2 days back in the morning, and I'm using it as my work phone. But of course, since this is a new phone, so I was more using it more than my actually the daily driver, which is my Note 20 Ultra, just because I can experience the Pixel 5 in its full glory and check all the different things like the video, how it performs on video, how it performs on the general day-to-day use, browsing social media, watching YouTube, and how its battery holds up, and how does it compare versus my original daily driver, that is the Note 20 Ultra. If I miss this the 120 hertz display of Note 20 Ultra, the bigger display, the higher end processor. So I will give you my thoughts of what I have found out in the past couple of days. And also, now since we know that the iPhone is going to be released now, the iPhone 12 and the 12 Pro. So what are my thoughts on whether you should buy an iPhone instead of a Pixel 5, and whether the price of Pixel 5 justifies its purchase or not. So to start with, so as you know, the Pixel 5 uses a glass back. It is more like a polycarb. Sorry, it is more metal finish. It is a aluminum, I think, and it's have a slightly textured back. So it's not a very plain back. It's slightly textured. Which gives a bit better grip in hand. Okay, and I got the black version because the sage green was out of stock. So you can see, you can still notice some fingerprints or some oil smudges, but yeah, if you look at directly, it is not visible. So overall build quality, I'm very happy. So this is a compact phone. So it's actually it's smaller than the Pixel 4, and Pixel 4 are of course a very compact phone, but it has a larger screen than the Pixel 4 because, as you can see, the bezels are very narrow, and it gives a very good uh, modern look and feel to this device, that it is very asymmetric, just a hole cut out on the top left, because of course you need to have the selfie camera. So my initial impressions, it's a good phone. You can't go wrong with this phone. I have noticed no difference whatsoever in terms of its performance. I have been using Note 20 Ultra. The only thing that is slightly different is that Note 20 Ultra feels smoother, and that's not because of the processor, it's because of the 120 Hz display. That being said, in no way this does not feel smooth. It is actually one of the smoothest phone out there. And it also has to do with the animation. So Pixel, has its own set of animation. So I have tuned down it a bit, but the animations are good. So 90 hertz, you will feel it a difference versus 60 hertz definitely. About the screen size, I think it's perfect for most people. If you are not into bigger screens, then this is the perfect size for you. Yes, I do miss the like big screen of Note 20 Ultra. So time to time I was watching videos on Note 20 Ultra also. But it it is on the heavier side compared to this. This is 151 gram, and Note 20 Ultra is over 200 gram. So you definitely feel the weight. You cannot hold Note 20 Ultra for much longer period of time in your hand, but you can do so with this device. Battery life has been amazing. Let me show you a couple of screenshots I took. So here, if you can see my the screen, and this was on my first charge. So you see the screenshot I took, I was still at 29%, and the screen usage time was 5 hour 15 minutes. That is amazing. And see, so this was like you will get easily 2 hours more, so possibly greater than 7 hours. Another charge cycle which I have not taken screenshot of, so it I used it from 74%, and I brought it down to, I think, around 10% or so, and it gave me more than 5 hours screen on time again. So battery life is amazing on this device, you can't go wrong. And I have not tested it much outside because these I'm working from home, so every time I'm on Wi-Fi. And also I have not been able to test the camera in detail because I have not been out that much in the past couple of days. But in terms of general viewing, this is feels very good. Now regarding the speaker, I think the speaker is something people have been complaining that it is very weak. I think. But yes, if I compare it to Note 20 Ultra, it is definitely not as good as the Note 20 Ultra. But if you are using it as a only device, there is no reason to complain. You won't feel any difference. It is a decent speaker. Yes, but because it is supposedly Google's flagship, the speaker could have been better. It is definitely worse than Pixel 4, but not in much way. So you don't need to worry that the speaker is absolute garbage. It's not. Even I tested like today shooting 4K video indoors because some of in some of the reviews I also heard that the 4K is causing a problem. Yeah, 4K 60 frame per second because Google have bought 4K 60 frame per second first time in a Pixel device. They did not used to have it till Pixel 4. So I shot a 30-second footage. So it only got slight warm, not even like full warm or something. Slight, you could feel the temperature has increased, but nothing major. So it was only a 30-second video, and I was indoors. But maybe if you use it outside where the temperature is higher, then maybe it will get warm. But I don't think it will be bad to the extent that it will stop recording or something, or it will be difficult to hold. So that is the thing. So overall, this is my first 48-hour experience, so I will be using this as the coming days also, and I will also share my full and final review. But I think I will be keeping this, and I will be selling off my Pixel 4, especially because this gives a much better battery life. And versus Note 20 Ultra, so if you have a Note 20 Ultra, you want a secondary device, then this will act as a secondary device. But of course, if you want to upgrade for something like even from an S20, I don't think you should upgrade to a Pixel 5 unless you want a stock Android experience, a much better battery life, and you're not a big gamer. So yes, it is a basically the best secondary device you can have apart from the Pixel 4a. Yeah, that is the best. This is maybe the second best. Now, as I mentioned that I'm in UK, and we are in UK and in some other European country, we are getting a good deal that we are getting a Bose speaker, not speaker, the Bose headphone free with this. So one of my main reason of buying this was to get that Bose headphone. So that is one thing to consider. But yeah, as I mentioned in my last video, if you want to buy it as a standalone device, here in UK it's £599. In US I think it's $699. So at that price point you have better spec phones, OnePlus 8T, Samsung S20 FE. That will of course give you much better specs. So they will have Snapdragon 865, they will have 120 hertz, bigger screen, better speakers, not better battery. This will have the best battery out of them. So yeah, so this is a decision you need to take. What is more important to you? So because of course I am like I want to buy new mobiles, everything, and Note 20 Ultra is still my one of the best mobiles I have used ever. So I will not be doing away with it. But I wanted to use this Pixel 5 and see how it is. So and I think I will be keeping it. Now another point. So this is about Pixel 5 and how it compares to Note 20 Ultra. But now, as you know, it is the iPhone season. So iPhone 12 and the 12 Pro are going to be launched. So basically, on 23rd, I think the shipments will start, and already the reviews are coming, or the first impressions are coming in. Now, if you are on the edge, whether you want to buy an iPhone or an Pixel 5, what should you do? For me, I think iPhone is priced at I think 100 pound, sorry, 200 pounds more in UK. So iPhone is at 799 pounds versus Pixel is at 599. In US, the difference is even less. I think 699 for Pixel and $799 for iPhone 12. Now it comes down to what you want. If you are into if you want to get the more high end performance, the better speakers, then of course you need to go to Apple. I'm not going into that iOS versus Android thing. Of course, that is the biggest consideration of all. But if you want a good all-round phone, I think iPhone will serve you better because first it will have a better screen, better speaker, and it will, of course, Apple chip. The A series chips are like even the best Snapdragon cannot compete with it. So, and cameras, of course, iPhone it will have good cameras. So if money is not a consideration and you want to have the like not the flagship but like the best all-round phone, iPhone will still be the best all-round phone. But keep in mind that it will not offer you a 90 hertz or a 120 hertz panel. So that is my impression on the iPhone. I have been using iPhones like since the 6s came out. So I used the iPhone 6s, the 7 Plus, the 8, the iPhone 10, 10s, uh, 11 Pro Max. But this year I'll be skipping iPhone because I feel that they missed the bus by not including 120 hertz. Now, for an average consumer, it is not a big issue. But after I have been using 90 hertz screens since last year, and Note 20 Ultra was my first 120 hertz mobile. So after using Note 20 Ultra, I cannot go back to a 60 hertz. Pixel is still at 90 hertz, but I can still live with it because Pixel has its own like very good smoothness associated with the software. But yeah, I cannot go back to a 60 hertz display anymore. And iPhone, to be frank, call me like an Android fanboy. I am not an Android fanboy. I have been using both iPhones and Androids for the past few years. It starts to get a bit boring after a certain amount of time. iPhone does everything brilliantly. So the whole idea of iOS is to make things easier, smoother, and user friendly. But the same thing starts to get boring a bit, particularly if you want to customize things. You are more to like changing wallpaper, changing icons here and there, using different themes, changing launchers, which of course you can do on Android but not on iOS. So it gets boring after some time, but of course for a normal user it works brilliantly. And of course if you have the Apple ecosystem, then it is a no-brainer. You have to get an iPhone. But this year's, I think iPhone 12 and 12 Pro, Apple has released them earlier than the Pro Max and the Mini, because they know if they would have released iPhone 12 Pro Max and iPhone 12 Mini along with these, the normal iPhone and the iPhone 12 and the 12 Max, 12 Pro, then these two will not have sold much. People would have either gone for the 12 Pro Max, those who want the best iPhone out there, or they would have gone to the iPhone Mini, 12 Mini, because that is the like iPhone traditionally has been suited with small screens. So now they have increased their screen size, but there is a huge proportion of the public that still want a compact iPhone, and 5.4 inch will like be the sweet spot. So it would definitely oversell the 12 and 12 Pro, and the iPhone 12 Pro Max will oversell the iPhone 12 Pro. So that is my initial impressions on the iPhone. So of course I'm not a professional reviewer, so and I won't be getting the iPhone, so I cannot review it. You can watch the more popular uh, reviewers on the YouTube to know about the impressions and the reviews of iPhone. But this was just my thought on what I feel about the Pixel. I will be posting some few more videos uh, later on about if I notice anything different in Pixel. Maybe after using for a couple of weeks, I will post my full review how I find this phone and how does whether I have started again using Note 20 Ultra more compared to this phone. So I will be posting that. And just as a final note, so this is a new thing I'm trying to start. So if you like the video, please do subscribe, like the video. It will help me, like, give me more energy to do these videos in the future. So this is my thoughts, and hope you guys do well, and take care. Cheers.